Hi. Hello. Testing. Let's hope this works. In fact, I'm pretty sure this works. Testing, testing. Can anyone hear me? Hi. I actually realized what happened. Oh. Why does this always go down when I reset the machine? My microphone volume always gets lowered. How's the range? Okay, should we fix now? No, I figured out what was wrong. I know exactly why it's been buffering the past 2 days, and I know exactly why rebooting fixed it. The reason why hit me as I was rebooting. Hi, Flo. How are you doing? No, it was actually my machine. It's because my upload speed is very. I actually see a few drop frames, but it seems to have stopped. It wasn't actually OBS's fault this time. It was my backup program. Because I downloaded a whole bunch of things 2 days ago when Twitch announced that it was getting rid of broadcast. They was putting a cap on the amount of broadcast videos that you could have. So I downloaded a whole bunch of things, and for the past 2 days, my upload program has been trying to upload that to the upload cloud throughout the day, including when I started streaming. Yeah, the usual cause, yeah. So when that happened, I realized that, that was what's causing the drop frames at the start of my stream. Yeah, that thing, yeah. I had to delete my Persona 5 and Tokyo Xanadu runs from long ago. But they're still on my Twitch. They're still on my YouTube. I just got rid of them from my highlights channel. Actually, I think my Tokyo Xanadu ones are still there. But I will have to get rid of them eventually. Anyway, the upload was what was causing my drop frame. So I stopped that. And we're fine now, it seems. So for this game, when we left off yesterday, we finished. No, this is not where we were. We were chapter 10. So we had done a bunch of the endings. We had gotten the epitaph's red ending. We have not gotten the epitaph's blue ending. Oh, can you? Okay.
Hello. What happened? I see that. I confront you. Did it work? Yes. Secretary. What? I overrode. Well, everything. This is Lou. What should I feel that one? You're leaving. I've already. So you confirm. And I.
Everyone caught that? Good. There'll be a quest. And yeah, good point. Yeah, I can probably just select the epilogue. I did have the save anyway though, so I used that. So we still have 2 more achievement endings to get besides Epitaph's Blue, which is one of the 2 real endings. We got the red one yesterday by turning off this girl, by turning off the red, and by turning off that red guard there. I think it's those 2, right? We left Principal on, but we just got rid of Mauve and Red. If we get rid of those 3, yeah, no, the reason I didn't want to do that first is because I wanted that to be my final ending. I wanted the final, like me ending. Yeah, I wanted that ending to be like one of my more the last things I do. Yeah, I don't like doing that. I guess I like wrapping up the game nicely, which is why I don't really want to do red now either. I suspect turning Mauve, and turning Principal off will probably trigger the other ending. It might trigger, I guess. Okay, fine. Fine. We can turn off the ones, we can do the my endings. The ones I would want to turn off. But I think that would be, I think we pretty much the same for most streamers though.
Radical sister.
I'm not. I thought you instead. I've lived under. She is an eight, no matter
The problem is that if I trigger Epitaph Blue now, then we don't have any more real endings to get. And I like to wrap it up. I like to wrap up the game with like a bow at the end. Like have my final choice be the true ending, which is why I didn't want to do this early on. But fine, since y'all want it, we'll do that. Oops, that was on.
She is no will you. She is no matter that will you.
Where the mouse defaults to is also where the lights on thing is, which is why that keeps ending. You can't know that your final choice will be the true ending. That's true, but that's, see, when I eat a plate of food, I start with the worst things and I end off with the best things on the plate, right? That's the way I eat a plate of food. So when I play a game like this and I see all these things, I'm like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like this. So let's check those out first so I can cut away the crust.
The red, all of them.
I know, I'm just saying
The
that
provisional
that's...
government, especially the one.
Yeah, goodbye.
Will you?
My ending. So my ending would have this. They would have this.
High minister. Do what you must. That's what I've always. And adaptive will you?
You, I'm not sure about. You are very kind of... You guys, I'm not sure about either. You for sure.
What?
No.
Living assistant of will you?
I will lights off you. I will also lights off. Where's Doreen and Co? There you are.
We've done our. You can't. We have the right to.
Those who are let with will you?
Nope. I will also turn off the
This
tiles.
is for what we never asked to be. We just.
The response of bird will you?
But see, now I'm not really going for my true ending anymore. I'm going for my more, like, I'm going for my more, I'm not going for my, what I think is the real ending. I'm going for what I want as like the best, I guess it's, yeah, kind of the best ending. So buffering stopped. When you said not for me, it doesn't mean that it didn't stop for you, right? It's that it didn't buffer, right? Okay. Yeah, I don't see any more drop frames on my side. So hopefully...
Without sister, you.
Tradition
It can also have will you?
I will have you lights off. So my ending would probably be getting back to the surface. You'll be surface based. The sisters that don't agree with the surface, Noah is the most difficult one here, right? Because her role is to survive. That's always been her aim. She'll do what she does. She'll do what she needs to do to survive, even if that separates her from her sisters over there. So she's kind of sacrificed a lot, but she's also done a lot of evil. Does she deserve to see the surface? And for you girls, you are kind of like the next generation, but you're also kind of like...
Left us, you're one of us blue. Principal and the High Minute. We can carve her. You can't betray
A sister who keeps justice and anger closely together. She is only ever will you?
Yeah. So this and this are the hardest. And because they're opposing as well, right? They're not... That's why their lampposts are next to each other. And that's why during the endings, they say something to the effect of, you must find a way to reconcile, they must find a way to reconcile these two and going forward. I don't know if it's my choice to make. And the sisters over there are kind of, these sisters over here are kind of broken. But at the same time, they've worked so hard to try to make it back to the surface. So I think I will probably end up with this, yeah. So because Dad has a parental connection there, and these are kind of like the older sisters, plus her, and the newer sisters over there. The middle generation is kind of cut out. But I would probably, if I were in their shoes, I would probably do something. Should I have you here?
Iris's mother and father, the memories of a city. All
Yes,
an obsession,
yes,
and you
for sure.
Carry this.
For sure, because I'm more of a... Oh, hi, Benny. Thanks for the raid. I still don't have a raid notification thing. I do have that though, so hopefully that works. Did it work? Did it work? It did work. How's your Hades run? Thank you for the raid, I appreciate that. Hi, Not a Machine. Hi, Mango. So we are at the very end of this game right now. So if you ever plan to play 1000xRESIST, you probably shouldn't be watching because this spoils quite a lot of plot points. I'm going to be moving to demos, some kind of demos, after doing a bunch of these different endings, because there are a lot of endings here, depending on some combination of things that you do. So that will be fun. This will be spoilers, so just so you're aware. So in this game, we are in the epilogue of the game. We have met many different factions of people throughout the game. And the way this epilogue works, this ending works, is that you are tasked by this person over here to forge a future by choosing who you want to keep, which are represented by the on lights, and who you want to delete, so to speak, which are represented by the off lights. So depending on what you choose, the epilogue, the post-epilogue cutscene is different. There are a couple of real endings, a couple of joke endings. No, not really joke endings, but like really short. Oh, this is what happened. Everybody dies. Kind of endings, and a bunch of in-between endings. Basically, that's what we're exploring right now, because there are a bunch of achievements tied to them as well. Yeah, we did that yesterday. Yeah, it was called Scorched Earth. I turned off all the lights, and nobody was left. Anyway, I will probably for my real ending, I will probably do something like this. I think. So I'm going to see what that triggers. So we'll see an example of an ending right here.
Are you ready to appraise your decisions?
Sure.
I am. You have chosen a future that casts aside the knife for more difficult incisions,
So her light is off.
that aspires to new instruments, but that leaves you vulnerable,
Her light is off.
that abandons your previous transgressions in the name of utility,
Their lights are off.
that seeks to persist on the surface, regardless of the unknown and the possibility for pain,
Lights on.
that forgets those who can no longer keep pace and favors speed,
Lights off.
that foregoes comforts and eradicates tradition for a new path,
Lights off.
that will do what must be done in order to survive, regardless of the soul,
Lights on.
that relentlessly seeks justice for those ignored,
Lights on.
that will try to reconcile those two desires,
And because these two are opposing each other, we have this scene.
that believes some are simply beyond forgiveness,
Yeah.
that remembers where you came from,
Interestingly, Watcher is in
knowing
that
you can
scene as well.
never fully connect to it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you certain
Yes.
you will eradicate the Jows?
I will eradicate the Jaws.
They'll never be able to forgive us completely. After what
Yeah.
Iris did?
So this is the ending of a 20-hour visual novel-ish game. So we have been through quite a lot of things. So basically we're in the epilogue now. Why did I turn off the Jaws? Why did I turn off the gels? Because to me it was more out of sympathy than anything else. I guess it's a difficult question to answer, right? I turned off the gels because I didn't think they
And
fit.
the provisional government.
I didn't think they fit in the new world that we were trying to achieve. Like, I think if we were to, like, they said something, one of the characters said something yesterday that kind of resonated with me. It was about, like, at some point you have to leave behind the past to progress towards the future. Something along those lines. So it's the same reason that I turn off the traditionalists like Doreen and the other girl. Because at some point I felt that my ideal ending involves the return to the surface, and it involves like the original sisters, which is why I have 4 of them there. It is true that we caused a lot of transgressions towards the gels, but that's a very hard thing to, I guess it was more to get rid of the problem, but it's partially because they were part of the complicated history down below that I'm trying to leave behind. But I didn't turn off the parents because they were the part of the complicated history up top that we're trying to reclaim. So I think the actual blue ending involves leaving on the gels and probably leaving on the traditionalists and maybe the religious people as well. Yeah, exactly. It's like at some point that was kind of my reasoning behind. Plus they had guns, and at some point I was wondering if there's always a chance that they'll try to overthrow us once we reach the top. But I don't think it's wrong to leave them alive as well. I think with so much space up top, now that the plague is over, the sickness is over, they would probably have been able to carve out some kind of society as well. But yeah, at least in my ideal future, at least the one that I picked instinctively, there was no space for them. So we shall see. We'll see how it turns out.
We'll end up killing each other.
You will let Cherry's sacrifice be in vain.
Now that's a painful question, right? Because Cherry, the child, saved me. But I don't think it was completely in vain. Well, it didn't save, in this ending, it wouldn't save the rest of her kind, but it would still give the rest of us a path forward. I don't really think it's in vain because we'll still remember them, but I guess that's not true after a couple of generations as well, right? So she's trying to convince me to have to keep the child. Nonetheless, I'm gonna forge forward. We can always try the other ending later.
I'm afraid so.
If that is your wish, then so be it.
Secretary.
But it's a very nuanced game, right? Like you can definitely argue for keeping these lights on, keeping those lights on, turning these ones off.
Farewell, Blue.
Farewell.
Let this thread prevail.
Yes, they do. But that's true. But you can make the argument for like the traditionalists and the religious. Yeah, you can argue for any lights that don't immediately execute you. It's not wrong to leave them on. But that doesn't mean I have to leave them on in the ending either. Because I'm trying to go for my ideal ending. And for me, I prioritize having the older sisters, besides Principal, see their dream of reaching the surface come true. At least I would do that as Blue in this scenario. Like, yes, it's true that they've been oppressed and wronged and persecuted all this time. But to Blue, And in the sense, like blue and the miscellaneous kind of parallel them as well, because they've also been wrong and oppressed. But I mean, so does everyone else. So but I think the true ending for blue involves keeping them, for sure. So this part is standard across all the endings. The hand catching the falling girls. And then from here it diverges.
Candy,
Remains.
a leader, an educator, a believer, a sister with a spine. Remember, a Zhao who never saw justice.
Never saw justice. The words are different.
Cherry,
Oh, so these are the epitaphs for the Jiaos that I didn't save.
a dreamer, a host, a martyr, a sister who would offer her hand for comfort. Remember, a Zhao who never saw justice.
Yeah, she really is hammering in there.
Toffee, a historian, a student, a companion, a sister with an affinity for the spooky. Remember, a Zhao who never saw justice. A daughter, a friend, a lover, a youth on the surface with an insatiable appetite.
Who is this referring to? Are we talking about Jiao Prime, like the real Jiao?
Remember, a Zhao who never saw justice.
The OG Jiao? Yeah.
No one is beyond forgiveness.
Jiao Prime. It might be Jiao Prime. It might be.
No one is beyond forgiveness. No one is beyond forgiveness.
An ending, Justice for Jiao. I actually got an achievement for that one. So that was one of my missing achievements. So that was one of the short endings. I still have one more short ending to get.
Is that...
Hello, Blue.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this part because we've seen this part like 12 times.
I remember.
What happened?
I see that's.
And if I actually read this,
Did it
it's
work?
very spoilery. So don't read too closely.
Overwrote?
Don't listen to them too closely.
What you feel that was what.
Or at least 5 times, yeah.
I've already.
So,
You can.
Spoiler. Okay. So what combination would we try now? See, I don't really like how heavy-handed the game was for that Jiao decision. It was as though the others didn't matter at all. That was kind of weird. So when you're saying all red, you mean turn off all red? Or only have all red? You're saying turn off all the reds, right? I think that will trigger the blue ending. I'm pretty sure that will trigger the good blue ending. Okay, so we can see the good ending, sure. Let's do that first. Then we'll come back and look at all the other random endings.
The red.
all of them?
How would you?
The provision is special.
Will you?
This is like playing the Paragon side in Mass Effect though, right? It's that kind of...
Don't... What? I live in...
An open wound. Will
Yes.
you?
It's tough. It's the goody side. Do you want to leave? I mean, yes, but you can argue the same about turning off these sisters also, right? Or turning off these sisters. At the end of the day, the Jiaos were still revolutionaries. I mean, so were we in a sense, but the Jiaos were kind of like one of the faction groups that was trying to kill these sisters during chapter 10, and I prioritized these sisters. So, which is why I turned off the Gels, the revolutionaries, the religious, and the Reds over there, I think, were the other group. Why was it Morph over here?
A radical.
Basically, I didn't want...
Miss Lily, I thought you instead. I've lived under.
She is an agent.
Okay,
No
thanks,
matter
Penny.
the
Thank you for the
change,
raid again.
will
Take
you
care.
give-
Have a wonderful evening. Have a good after stream self-care. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Fiona and other Iris. So the Gels to me is a very... I mean, I understand that they kind of represent like the oppression of like a different I kind of want to say immigrant race, but not really. They're actually more like the original in a sense, depending on where you... It's a different culture, so to speak. But it's not necessarily Blue's price to pay either. It's kind of a difficult balance there. But yeah, to me, because I prioritized them, I turned off people that could be a threat to them, which was basically everyone else that was in chapter 10. Do we think we should keep on Noah or keep off Noah for this? I think we turn off Noah because she's red. But I can kind of see the argument for keeping her on as well. You want to keep Noah? Okay. We'll keep Noah. We can always do both.
Do what you. That's
I
what
didn't mean to
I've
take
done.
this.
Will
Noah's a very interesting character. I actually like her quite a bit. So we kept on the miscellaneous. We kept on Fiona, the religious. We kept on Doreen, the traditionalist. Kept on those sisters. And kept on the Gels. And kept on the parents. Yeah, so this is the same as the Epitaph raid ending that we got yesterday, except we turned off Principal. So now we'll see if Noah affects the ending.
Blue,
I am.
You have chosen a future that casts aside the knife for more difficult incisions,
So she's a radical. If you keep her on, she kills you.
that aspires to new instruments, but that leaves you vulnerable,
And they also kill you.
that faces past wrongs head on, no matter the cost, that seeks to persist on the surface, regardless of the unknown and the possibility for pain, that recognizes past contributions and to go more slowly,
Yeah, this is the goody ending.
that allows for comfort in tradition at the risk of docility,
Uh-huh.
that will do what must be done in order to survive, regardless of the soul, that relentlessly seeks justice for those ignored, that will try to reconcile those two desires, that believes some are simply beyond forgiveness.
The others are separated by ideology. The Gels are being gel. Yes, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not wrong to pick them, like I said. It's just that in what I was trying to do for the ending, which the game did not really acknowledge, there was no space for them.
That remembers where you came from, knowing you can never fully connect to it.
I agree that in the good ending, which is what we're trying to get here, in the good ending, you definitely have to keep the Gels. No questions asked. But I was not going for a good ending, so to speak. I was trying to see if I could get a return to Earth ending. Because I think that will be what Blue's current, my interpretation of Blue's current goals will align closest to. Like, she doesn't really know the Gels, although one did save her life.
Are you certain?
Which is why Secretary grilled her about that. Yes, let's go. See, she didn't
The ancient sister's sin will finally be eradicated.
try to backseat me this time.
She has hid all her life. She can finally rest in oblivion. Maybe some people are truly beyond forgiveness.
Which is interesting, right? Because in the red ending, she actually did find, like, well, maybe not forgiveness, but she did find herself in the end. So we know from the red ending that this is actually not true.
She needs to go. Otherwise, certain sisters will rally behind her again. She had her chance to do what was right, much longer than the rest of us.
Maybe.
She chose to hold tightly.
If that is your wish, then so be it.
Thank you, Secretary.
Thank you, Secretary.
Farewell, Blue. Let this thread be unburdened.
So every ending that we have, this word changes. Is let this thread something. Kind of cool. But there are 9 different lampposts here. So I wonder how many different variations of this and how many variations of the endings they actually do have. Because there's quite a lot of combinations of lights that you can have. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, 2 to the power of 9, yeah. There are 6 different achievements, I think. 4 short ones and 2 long ones. And if we get control here, then it's yeah, we get control. So this looks like so this is either Epitaph's blue or Epitaph's red. We did Epitaph's red yesterday. We'll know, but principal isn't here, right? So it's unlikely to be red. This is probably the goody paragon ending. But it might be a variation of red. No, this is blue, yeah. So this is the other major ending that we didn't get yesterday. Spoilers, by the way.
I'm usually here alone. So thank you for coming with me. I know it's dangerous.
Your home, our stars, abandoned.
Why did we leave?
For the same reasons why anyone leaves.
That is a very cool suit. Yesterday, Principal's suit was also very cool. And her hairstyle and stuff. It's very nice. So her suit now is a combination of blue and white. Like, she's basically, at least my interpretation of it is, she's embracing her Watcher roots as well as her miscellaneous roots.
There was an end in sight. And a hope for something else. Something better.
Mm-hmm.
The others didn't want to come. We left for good, they said.
But you came.
Yes. I wanted to know more. See it for myself.
That's important. After everything that's happened, I can't help but come back.
Wow, cool. Very cool. Yesterday's Epitaph ending was really nice as well. Like, the red ending was really nice. Like, Principal seemed completely redeemed. And seeing the sisters go around was something else. Like, seeing the ghosts of the sisters was pretty amazing.
I return every year.
You're mourning.
Some things can't be rushed. Sometimes it feels like it was just yesterday. Why don't you go visit my sisters? I'm sure they'd be happy to see someone other than me for once.
So this is ending Epitaph's blue. Oh, but we get bartender in this one as well. And we get cherry in this one. So these cherry and bartender were not in. Actually, no, were they? Were they in the past one? I don't think they were in the red ending. Yeah. Also, her speech was almost the same as Principal's, but not quite. There were some differences there.
Remember a teenager who fled her home with a full backpack and a picture in her pocket.
So this would be Iris's remains.
She couldn't find happiness. She missed her parents.
Yeah.
For you, something old. I feel as if I know her.
Okay. What do we have on the ground floor? We have one thing over there. But that's in the other wing. We have one thing over here. How do I get there? Here we go.
Remember a stubborn and brash fixer who discovered our first forms of flight and disappeared. She could not sleep through the night. She struggled with words. For you, something secret. Words can be hard sometimes.
She learned to fly. She learned to fly. So okay, so we have these ghosts again. So the next one we need to do is Watcher, right? She's whoever's up there. No, who did you meet? Where's Watcher? Where would Watcher be? Watcher would be down there.
Remember a guilty, matricidal watcher who lost faith in an eye. She could have been a nobody. She was ancient by the end.
Ouch.
For you, something fresh. She's my favorite.
So in the principal ending, there were two Watchers. One went off this way, two Watcher ghosts. One went off this way and one went off that way. The one that ran off this way went to meet Blue. But Blue's standing out there. Blue is alive in this ending. So I wonder who she's going to meet. This one over here, this ghost over here comes here to meet Fixer. Very nice scene. If you know what they represent throughout the entire game. This is probably, this was BBF, right?
Remember an unflinching
Now it's bartender.
who tended to libation the way she tended to revolution. She chose not to be careful.
Or maybe this was,
She was shot in the back.
maybe BBF or somewhere else.
For you, something sacred. A hero, it sounds like.
Bartender. So this is, yeah, BB, yeah, you're right, yeah, BB was in a bay. Bartender just stands here. She doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, I think you're right. Bartender, BBF or somewhere else. So if you go up this way, we see the ghost of Watcher here, going up this way, and standing here to meet whoever this is.
Remember a shy Jiao who stood in the same spot her whole life, giving away empty pages of memorabilia.
So in the red ending, this was Blue.
She loved her function. She died standing at the ready. For you, something wild.
Yeah. Sharing. But she's not actually meeting her. But Watcher came all the way here to see her. Why though? Did these two ever meet in a game? They did not, right? I don't think they ever met in the game. Well, maybe she's here to make friends, though. They are both connected to Blue, after all. There is nobody in here. There's one person below me, one person on the same level as me. That would be BBF over there. Yeah, they both died in the same chapter, more or less. These are the red guards.
Remember the armed sisters who upheld a fictitious government and sacrificed many lives.
She loved her function is kind of odd to me. Wonder if that is because turning the gel light. When you say turning the gel light, you mean leaving it on? Or you mean turning it off? Because we left it on for this ending.
They turned on their own. They didn't know better. For you, something clean. I heard about them.
Yeah, the red guard. Thank you for your service. Yeah, it is kind of weird, hey? Here's BBF.
Remember a philosophizing Bang Bang Fire who hated her role and was difficult to understand. She carried the past with her like a shadow. She was happier when she was drunk. For you, something funny.
I do wonder if we played the same ending but turned off the gel lamp, would we still get Epitaph Blue? But will that epitaph there change? Interesting question to ponder.
I wouldn't mind something funny.
I'm not sure if all the other combinations give you something short, or if some of them give you variations of the longer good endings. Why couldn't I get this ending? Look, here she goes jumping around. Jumping off. And there's another sister that comes here, right? That would be Healer over here. Am I a gel? I guess, kind of, maybe. Am I a gel? I guess I am. I do sound like one.
Remember a tired and indulgent healer
So this one is the
who
same.
thrived in her late years as a cultural icon. She was petty. She was honest.
This part might be different.
For you, something sparkling.
Yeah, this is different. But only the first one was the same.
I'm a big fan.
This is the same as well, I think.
What's it like to
Yes,
be a legend?
yes. Yeah, BB really had it hard in like the last few chapters. So seeing her like dance around, seeing her ghost like dance around and jump off the thing was really nice. And seeing these two meet up was very nice as well. These epilogues, the epilogue yesterday was great. And this one is also great. It would have been greater if I hadn't seen the other one first. But I mean, then the other one wouldn't be as great, so. Who do we have left? We have Noah, who's probably in the library. No, she's actually over there. That might be the library. Oh, she's in the other wing, I think. So like in here.
Remember a tight-lipped and two-faced knower whose sacrifices outlived her. She made enemies over and over. She was not for the faint of heart. For you, something soft.
Yeah, this is the same as what she got. I think the initial reading was different, but the for you part was the same. It's okay to be soft now, or something like that.
So many enemies.
Oh, this changed. So where do you go? You go up to watch, right, I think? Yeah, you just end up here. Looking down on those two below. But not actually being able to be with them. I feel like Noah's story is almost more tragic than all the other sisters. Almost. How do I get back to the main area? This place is a maze. Out here and around. That's it, right? We have no other? Yeah. Okay.
To this day, I wonder, what if I had chosen differently? A sister once said to me, don't think too hard. It's bad for the brain. I can confirm that.
Your sisters. I've heard so much about them.
What would they say now?
I think they would want you to forgive yourself.
There is forgiveness, and then there is the gravity of consequence.
You did what you had to do.
I did. There's one last sight I want you to see. In the cave, where there used to be a waterfall. Please.
Find where Principal remains. Okay, where is the waterfall? I don't have a marker for this. I'm just gonna run until I find it. Stop me if I overshoot it. Is it in there? I don't think so. I know it's by the star. Here we are. Oh, there is a marker. So this is interesting, right? Because this was where the other ancient sisters were buried. But their sticks are gone now. It's just Principal here.
Remember a lying and leading principal who tried to be a better mother than her own. She chose not to regret her damage. She chose to be in pain. For you, something merciful. All we can do is try, right?
Yep, she stands here, alone.
I left so many things behind here. Maybe there's still more to leave. How about you? Anything you care to keep here?
I'd like to leave a picture.
So I didn't get an option this time. The last time I was here, I got 3 different options, right? I feel like I still picked a picture. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Maybe it's afterwards.
Of what?
Ah, okay. So we set a time the last time. I don't think this actually matters because we don't actually get to see the item. Let's go friend this time. Let's go place this time.
A place.
It will be here for you. If ever you're back to visit. Are you ready to return to the others?
Yeah, we don't actually see what it is.
I am.
Blue to ephemeral. Blue to ephemeral. Ready for retrieval.
Ephemeral. Hey, that's a nice word.
This is ephemeral. Message received, Blue. On our way to rendezvous.
Maybe you'll write something for me one day.
She did in the other timeline.
After all, there are more yesterdays to come.
They must have been, I guess. They did say in chapter 9 that the bodies were remarkably well preserved inside the suit, which would imply that there was hair there. Maybe, I think they also said, they also kind of implied that Blue went there like once a year or something. Or like, someone came with you this time. I think they said the same phrasing for Principal. I think they used the same phrasing. But I'm not completely sure. Yeah, it seems similar to me. But then the tone of what they said down here could be interpreted like that as well. Like, Blue feels like penance. Okay, so this is the credits. I hope we can skip the credits because we sat through the entire thing the last time. Okay, so we can skip the credits. I've already got the achievement anyway. So, back to epilogue. Now we have one more achievement to get. And possibly a few more interesting endings to see. The ending we have not gotten is called Lights Out. But we know it is not the ending
Secretary.
where you turn off all the lights.
Hello. What happened?
I've more. I see. That's
I can
you.
in.
Did it work?
Yes,
Secretary. What? I overwrote.
Well, everything.
This is Lou.
Yes, I wish we had a skip button for this.
You're leaving.
I've already.
This
So,
You confirm. And I.
One ending I want to try, I'm curious about, is like what it could be, is leaving this on and turning everyone else off. Because these people are actually dead, right? It might involve Fixer's Light as well, yeah, because when you don't have technology, yeah, when you don't have someone to maintain the lights, that could be it.
The red olive. How would you?
The provision special.
Will you?
I do want to try to see what happens if we leave this one on and everything else off.
A rat.
I'm not. I thought you wanted change. Instead, I've lived.
She is an agent of change. No matter the change.
No matter the cost. Let's turn off everyone slowly.
Only without sisters would you.
Tradition can soothe
The difficulties of reality. It can also have. Will you?
Dangerous gravity.
We've done our service. You can't. We have the.
Those but with experience. Will you?
Lights off. Let's turn this off as
They
well.
forgot your one principle. You can't.
Assist. She is. Will you?
Hi, we're friends. Bye.
I'm
Do what you. That's what I've always done. And
an adaptable. Will you?
I like Noah so much.
The aim.
don't you. What mother? Living.
A sister and open. Will you?
Off.
Blue, Secretary, you're not.
Phoebe.
We have to go to the surface. There's
Sure.
nothing. We'll die.
Follow or spit. Will you?
Off.
This is your chance. For what ancient Iris did to ancient Zhao. We never asked to be. We deserve our own way.
there is a burden, so will you.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of paying for my forebearers' sins, which is why I'm not always super keen on the idea of keeping the Jiaos around as well. Everybody has a bit of that. But in this specific world, it seems like kind of like cruel.
Blue,
Sure.
I am.
you have chosen a future without any sisters.
Correct. But with one light on.
You have decided to end it all. Are you certain?
Oh, so this is probably the same. This is probably Scorched Earth again. Let's check it
I'm
anyway
certain.
to be sure. Yeah, so the speech here is the same as Scorched Earth.
We were a mistake, Secretary. All of this suffering, this pain, this
Yeah.
regret can be forgotten. A reset. The world will be better off.
This is
It is. End it now.
If that is after everything, then
Thank you.
farewell. Let this thread.
Yeah, so she said be cut as well, which is the same ending. So we should definitely do one where we leave the Jiaos here while we turn off everyone else, right? See what happens if the... Well, wait, we kind of did that. We actually got the Jiao ending already. Well, no, but we got the Jiao ending when I didn't save the Jiaos. We kind of did that except without doing that, yeah. But in that ending, I actually turned off the Jiao light. Did I? Didn't I get that? Yeah. I did the opposite and somehow got it, yeah. Well, we got the Jiao, basically we got the epithet for Jiaos. There was that minor ending. Yeah. So right now, let's do the... Let's skip all this nonsense.
Secretary.
Yes,
is
we
that-
know.
Hello,
Come on.
What happened?
I've more. I see. That's. I can.
Spoilers, don't read.
Did it
Don't
work?
read any of that.
Secretary. What?
I
Overwrote?
Well, this everything.
This is
Don't think about it.
That one.
You're leaving.
I must. I've already.
This
So,
You confirm. Then and I.
Okay, so now let's turn off... Should we turn off everyone but Jiaos?
The red.
all of them?
Or just Jiaos? Yeah, let's turn off everyone but Jiaos.
Will you kiss?
Ah,
Blue, you're not.
Phoebe.
There's nothing. We'll.
Just follow or spend. Will you?
ah. Yeah, I can keep the parents on probably. They don't seem to affect the thing.
The aim.
Don't. What? I.
Live and will you? High minute.
Do what you. That's what
And adapt. Will you?
They forgot your one principle. You can't.
Assist she. Will you?
We've done our sir. You can't. We have the right to.
Those, but with it. Will you?
This group is an interesting group as well. It could be that you have to leave the Jiaos alive with like some of the older sisters.
We only act without persistent you.
tradition.
It can
Or maybe
also
these
have
girls, because they're trying to
dangerous gravity.
restore the All Mother.
Will you?
It would be kind of interesting to see Jiaos and them. Yeah, you.
I thought instead. She. No. Will you?
You're not going anywhere. So the Jiaos and the parents. So I think we can tell, we've proven that we can tell from this debriefing what kind of ending we'll get.
Blue.
Sure.
I am.
You have chosen a future
That casts aside the knife that aspires to new instruments, that faces past wrongs, that stays inside, that forgets those who can, that foregoes comforts,
that knows some
Yeah.
lines
that releases anger, but leaves some people behind.
Yeah.
that believes some are simply beyond forgiveness, that will remember where you came from. Are you certain?
No.
I need more time.
I understand.
Return
when you.
I'm gonna turn off the parents as well.
Iris is not the men and will you. blue.
I am.
You have chosen a future that casts aside the
So no,
past
that doesn't change. We
that
still go through this
forgets
entire
those
spiel.
That believe that will. Are you certain?
Sure.
You desire to forget the surface.
Ah. So that's what happens if you turn off. Well, sure.
We never asked to be born. If we must, we should make a life worth. Does it matter if it was those who have lived?
If that is your wish, then so.
Thank you, Secretary.
Farewell, Blue.
Let this
thread go quietly. So how does this ending change? What is this thing? Wow. So basically the sisters are like erased, forgotten. So yeah, that was the lights out ending. Okay, so I think I've gotten 100% of the achievements now. Yeah, I have. So those are all the
Is that
Hello.
those are all the
What
major
happened
and minor
to your body?
endings.
I've more. I
see.
That's.
I can find you.
These ones plus the ones we saw
Yes,
yesterday.
later.
Secretary? What?
I
Overwrote?
While this everything. This is blue. What should what future that was one.
You're leaving.
I must. I've already. This.
So,
You confirm. Then and I.
Is there any other ending combination that anyone wants to see? Anyone that kind of knows what they're doing anyway? So we have two of them where we return to the surface, the blue and red, and basically everyone else died. Yeah, I think I doubt it'll change anything at this point. I'm kind of curious, for example, what happens if you leave just the religious people alive? Like what kind of endings? Ad break started. Yeah. Thanks, Taiki. Like what kind of like I think you're right. Like I think some of the people you leave alive don't really matter. Like if we leave just the religious people and like Fixer and Watcher alive, they'll start talking about why didn't you save Charo? Then you have to do her, and if you save her, then you'll get the ending. Leaving Morph's red aunt is always death. What if Morph is the only person left alive? Do you think that'll change anything? Probably not though, right? She'll shoot you and then shoot herself. Cause she's the last remaining person on Earth. On the planet. Or what happens if we just leave the miscellaneous and
I'm into what you. That's what I. And it will.
so we turn off her,
The.
turn off
don't
you.
what I live and will you.
Who should I leave on and who should I leave off?
The red.
all of them?
How would
The purpose special.
I have will you? I resist them and will you.
A radical.
I'm not. I thought instead. She no will you.
Bye. But this is kind of similar to what I did for my preferred ending. Except I turned off a few more people. No, I didn't. Wait. Yeah, this is actually pretty similar, except we left Jiawan. I turn off these two, but this is actually the blue ending, right? So you
This
turn off
is
the
for what many
Jia.
just
There is a bird will you
And maybe turn off. Should we turn some of you sisters off? I don't get the feeling that these factions mean anything at all in the endings.
we
Like if I
found
turn you
yeah,
off,
we have the
though that will you
We only without sister you.
tradition it can all will you
actually let's leave you on and turn you off.
They forgot your one principle. You can't.
as if she is will you
Yeah, so there are two lights on, right? Fixer group and that. If I turn off the fixer group, she'll start grilling me about them. But are you sure? So you're abandoning your wish to go back to the surface? Question mark.
blue.
Sure, let's
I
appraise.
am.
You have chosen a few that casts aside the net that aspires to, that abandons your previous transgression, that seeks to that forgets, that allows, that knows, that
Yeah,
will,
yeah,
that
yeah,
serves.
yeah.
Are you certain? You will eradicate the
Yeah, so it
chaos.
goes into this.
I don't know. Give me some more time.
As you wish.
Yeah, it's Jiao ending, yeah. Which is kind of a pity. Like, you have so many choices here, but half of the lampposts don't mean anything. Or they kind of like, you must have this on, you must have that on. But those ones just don't. They don't matter. If I'm trying to build a world with religion, for example, like this, a religious-based world that gets back to the surface, I'm not allowed to leave the Chaos behind, which is kind of silly. But I guess when you're a small studio, you can't actually make 2 to the power of 9 different endings.
The responsibility. A bird will you.
Because it would have been nice to see some of those endings, right? Yeah.
Blue, you're not.
Maybe.
There's nothing. We'll die.
Follow or will you.
I'm pretty sure if I do this, they'll say, we'll get the, are you abandoning your dreams? Yeah, that's true, but yeah, it will lights out, yeah.
Blue.
I am.
You have checked that is that's that believe that will are you certain? You desire to forget
Yeah.
the surface.
I'm
I understood. Return when you are ready.
Okay, yeah, so I don't think there are any other like even minor endings that we didn't get. So yeah, 1000xRESIST. Really good game. Took a bit longer than I thought it would take. I thought I would be able to finish it in 5 streams. It took 8.5 streams somehow. A lot of nice parallels, a lot of nice scene composition and things like that somehow. A lot of nice plot twists. I did go back and watch chapter 1 again, the first stream, and yeah, I saw the stabbing scene, the train scene. Then I saw so Watcher actually, I had forgotten that, but Watcher actually came here and we had a conversation between the chapter 1 to 5 Watcher and the chapter 6 to 10 Watcher, and they were having a conversation with each other. And yeah, I saw what Satina was commenting as well, where during the stabbing scene, Watcher looked behind her and Miscellaneous was there. So Blue was actually there as well. And yeah, so this entire thing, yeah, it was fun. It is fun. Yeah, it was fun to even look at the first chapter with more context. It filled in a lot of little blanks. Because at the time I was playing with like trying to make sure the sound was okay and all. So I kind of like forgotten what happened back then. The game did also almost make me cry 5 times. it didn't actually push me to the brink, but I was curious if anyone could tell what moments those were. I don't know if I sounded different at any of those times, but there were 5 instances that the game did that. Any guesses that anyone wants to make? It's not really like, oh, I'm on the brink of tears, but it pushed me to the level where I could feel emotional. So the first instance where that happened was back in, I don't know what chapter that was, where basically we were, Iris was leaving her parents' house, and we walked through the several connected dioramas of like the house, the picture of the house, and she had to walk through them and see like her parents react. A watcher / Blue saw her parents' reactions as she left. That part at the time I said, I wish it was a little longer, and if that part had been longer, you would probably have gotten me. The second part was when Dad was making his farewell video to Iris, and he said that line that I stopped and talked about as well. The thing about when I die, I want my ashes to be back home or something. Or I want my ashes to something like I want to die in my home country or something like that. Or I want to go home and die there. And then the third time was when he actually went home, and we had the scene where he was sitting in the city streets on the beach chair, and the discordance of that scene was really nice. I really enjoyed that scene. That was in chapter like 9 or 10 actually. For me, Iris's mother talking about how her dad kept her going, that was pretty strong as well. That was not one of my moments, but it was pretty strong. The fourth and fifth scene were actually basically the same thing. The fourth scene was in the epilogue, in Epitaph's Read, where I first saw the ghost, and I saw Watcher and Fixer meet each other. That was a very powerful moment. And the fifth scene was the other side of it, where I saw Bang Bang and Healer talking to each other. And then up above, we saw Noah watching them, but unable to join them, because she had been apart from them for so long. Like Noah's story also kind of parallels the immigration thing, because she, like all the others, basically immigrated away from their home country. So they basically went rogue, they went fugitive, same as Iris's parents did. But Noah stayed behind, kind of like Iris's grandma. So when Iris's mother and Iris's grandma were having that conversation on the phone, and Iris was like, "Oh, you've only seen Iris once since she was born, and like, why won't you pick up the phone, and will you ever come down here to see her again," or something like that. Like, but they never did, right? They never connected again. And Noah's story was kind of like that as well, because all her sisters migrated away, and she had to stay behind to like save Watcher. That was the story anyway, and to kind of like integrate in with the new society and try to survive. But even after they were overthrown, she could not really ever meet them again, even if you saved them. There was too much time between them. So the image of her looking down on those two was kind of a powerful moment as well. Anyway, that was 1000xRESIST. Thanks for watching. We still have 1.5 hours to go. Is it worth saving game? No, I don't think so. It just puts me at the start of this thing anyway. What say we play some demos? Yeah, thank you, Flo. Thanks for all your insight as well. It really helped having someone come along and who knows what they're doing, or who could explain the little subtle things that I missed along the way. Like how they moved to Canada. that part escaped me for quite a bit. I do have a. So the Steam Next Fest does not start until tomorrow or the day after, I think. But the Storytellers Festival is on. Plus, and that game, that event has a bunch of demos. Although they're mostly visual novels. But so was this game though. And some of the Steam Next Fest games have already started releasing their demos as well. So over the next week or so, I will probably play random demos because I don't really get the time to play them outside of streaming, now that I stream. And also so that other people who are interested in them can see them as well. I know Satinal and Emmy had a list of like different games that they wanted to see. Some of them were the VNs, visual novels from the Storytellers Festival. And some of them were games that are coming up in the Steam Next Fest. So we're going to play through a few of them for a week. And then I'll probably move on to another game, to another like full game. I haven't decided exactly what yet. I have a few choices on my list, but we'll see what. But yeah, I wanted to go to some demos. So let me close this